They told me it's not the right time for me and my kids, but welcomed my sister's coworker and her dog. So I sent a photo of the gifts I wrapped and got 24 missed calls from my mother within minutes. I was 36 when I realized I was never truly welcome in my own family. I was always the one who didn't fit. Too honest, too emotional, too hard to control. I never just smiled and went along with things like my sister did. And because of that, I was often left out. I'm a single mom to 2 kids, Olivia, who's 9, and Mason, who's 6. They are sweet, funny, and kind. But somehow, that still made us too much when it came to family gatherings, especially during the holidays. In early December, I sent my mom a simple text. I asked what time she wanted us to come over for Christmas Eve dinner. She didn't reply. I waited a few days, thinking maybe she was busy. Then I called her. When she answered, she sounded rushed and cold. She said, "Honey, I've been meaning to call. It's just not the right time this year. We're keeping things small. Too much going on. You understand." I didn't understand, but I said I did. I asked if everything was okay, and she just gave a vague answer about stress and not having enough space. It felt strange. No invite. No talk about gifts for the kids. Just silence. That night, I sat my kids down and told them that Grandma and Grandpa were just busy this year. I promised we'd still have a great Christmas at home. I let them pick out 2 gifts for each other, bought extra hot cocoa, and promised we'd bake cinnamon rolls like we used to. They were a little sad, but excited to make our own traditions. I tried to stay strong, even though my heart was heavy. On Christmas morning, everything felt peaceful. The kids were playing with their Legos, laughing, and I was sipping coffee while scrolling through Instagram. That's when I froze. My sister had posted a picture on her story. Their Christmas dinner table was full. Candles, decorations, laughter. I saw her husband, her in-laws, my cousin from Arizona, and a woman I didn't recognize. When I clicked her name, I found out she was my sister's coworker. And even she had brought her dog, a little pug in a Santa sweater. But my kids weren't invited because it wasn't the right time. I didn't cry. I didn't call. I just walked over to the hallway where a box Saturday. It was full of gifts I had wrapped 2 weeks ago. I had picked out something for everyone at that dinner table. Each gift had a name on it. I took a picture of that box and sent it to the family group chat. I didn't add any words, just the picture. 10 minutes later, my phone started buzzing nonstop. 24 missed calls from my mother. Then texts started pouring in. "Please answer. Let's talk. You're blowing this out of proportion. Don't do this." I didn't answer. I muted the thread. I was halfway through making grilled cheese for the kids when I heard a loud knock at the door. I looked through the peephole. It was my father. His jaw was tight, his coat zipped all the way up. He looked like a man who was not used to being told no. I opened the door, without saying a word. I picked up the box of gifts from the hallway, walked right past him, opened the trash bin outside, and dropped the whole box in. Then I turned to him, looked him in the eyes, and said, "Merry Christmas." He didn't say anything at first. He just stared at the trash can like I had thrown away something precious. Finally, he spoke. "You didn't have to do that." I stepped back into the doorway. "Neither did you. Or Mom. Or anyone sitting at that table." He sighed like he was tired of me. "You always take things so personally." I've heard that line so many times in my life. Every time I tried to speak up as a kid. Every time I felt left out or hurt. "You're too sensitive. You read into everything. You make a big deal out of nothing." But this wasn't nothing. I had seen the pictures. I had seen that they had room for a coworker's dog, but not for my kids. I said, "I saw me. I saw her dog. You had room for them, but not for us." My dad shook his head. "She had nowhere else to go. And your mother, she just wanted peace. She didn't want drama this year." I cut him off. "Yeah, I've heard that before." He rubbed his temples like I was the one causing problems. It was supposed to be simple. Just 1 year. I almost laughed. "Every year it's just this once. Every year, you push me a little further out. That's when Olivia peeked from behind me. She was holding a drawing she made for Grandma, one with the whole family sitting around a tree. She whispered, "Is Grandpa mad?" My dad looked at her. For a second, I thought I saw real guilt. But it passed quickly. He bent down and said softly, "Of course not, sweetheart." Then he looked at me. "Can I come in?" Everything in me wanted to say no, but I stepped aside. He sat on the edge of the couch, still looking uncomfortable, while the kids curled back up to watch Elf on the TV. He said, "I didn't know your mom didn't tell you about the guest list." I looked at him. "You didn't know we weren't invited?"
He didn't argue.
I asked quietly, "What did I do, Dad? What did I do that made my kids the ones who didn't deserve a spot at the table?" He looked down at the rug. Then he said, "It's not what you did. It's how you are. You make things heavier, harder. Your mom says it's like walking on eggshells around you." I just stared. He continued, "You could have come if you just promised not to make a big deal this year. No drama. No emotions. You always turn everything into something bigger. Your sister doesn't do that." And there it was. The truth that had always been there, hidden under smiles and holiday cards. My sister was the easy one. The fun one. The one who laughed and went along with everything.
I was the one who set boundaries.
Who spoke up. Who noticed when things weren't fair. I stood up. "You know what's funny? I did all your traditions this year. The movies, the cinnamon rolls, the matching pajamas. I did Christmas without you. And it felt lighter." He got up too. "I just came to fix this." I shook my head. "You can't fix this. You didn't break a toy. You broke trust." He grabbed his coat, then looked back at the kids. "You'll regret cutting us out someday." I walked to the door. "Maybe. But not today." As he drove away, my phone started buzzing again. This time it was my sister, Amber. The favorite. The family glue. She sent text after text. "You didn't have to make it a whole thing. I told Mom not to mention Mag. It wasn't personal. You could have dropped stuff off the next day. Don't punish everyone just because your feelings got hurt." I didn't reply to her. But I did go back to the family group chat where I sent the gift box photo. Now, everyone was talking. Aunts, cousins, even old family friends. "Wait, you weren't invited? I thought you were hosting Christmas this year? Why wouldn't the kids be there?" I helped wrap Olivia's gift at the house. I thought she'd open it there. Then my mom finally spoke up. "Can we please not turn this into a witch hunt? It was a misunderstanding." A few minutes later, another message from her. "We didn't want to overwhelm the kids. Amber had a guest last minute. It wasn't about playing favorites." Overwhelm the kids? My kids had made handmade cards for Grandma. They had been counting down the days for weeks. On Christmas Day, they kept asking, "Is it too late to go now?" So I finally wrote back. "Since everyone's confused, let me clear it up. We weren't forgotten. We were excluded. Mom said it wasn't the right time. Then I saw me and her dog. So for everyone asking why the kids weren't there, now you know. And no, I won't be doing this again next year." The group chat exploded. Some people messaged me privately, shocked. A few apologized. Some even offered to bring over cookies or gifts. But others, mostly those close to my mom, started defending her. "You didn't have to make it public. You're overreacting. They didn't mean it that way." That word, overreacting. It's what every black sheep hears when they finally speak up. I deleted my messages from the chat. Not because I regretted them, but because I didn't feel like explaining myself to people who never wondered how I felt in the first place. That night, Olivia asked me, "Is Grandma mad?" I said, "I think Grandma is just confused." Mason asked, "Did we do something wrong?" I smiled and said, "No, sweetheart. Some adults just don't know how to treat people fairly, even when they say they love them." It's been 3 weeks since then.
No one has come by.
No one has apologized. My mom just keeps playing the victim. Last night, she sent me a long email. Subject line, "You took things too far." She said I embarrassed her, that I confused the children, that I destroyed the holiday spirit. But not once did she mention Olivia or Mason by name. At the end of her email, she said something that stuck with me. You don't just burn bridges. You bulldoze them. And you know what?
She's right.
I did bulldoze that bridge. But she forgot to say who built it that way in the first place. Last weekend, I took my kids to a cabin up north. Just the three of us. We built snowmen, made hot chocolate, and played board games. I didn't check my phone. I didn't look at Instagram. I didn't wonder if anyone missed us. Because for the first time in years, I felt like I was finally standing on solid ground. Yesterday, I mailed something to my parents' house. It wasn't a letter. It wasn't an apology. It was a photo of Olivia and Mason laughing in the snow, arms around each other, under a sky full of white. No note. No caption. Just proof that we didn't need them to feel whole. And if that makes me the villain, then fine. I'll be the one who bulldozed the bridge. But at least I did it standing strong, not begging to be included anymore. If you felt this story, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and never let anyone make you feel like you're too much, especially during the holidays.